Alright, hey everybody. Welcome back. We're trying Twitch this time instead of YouTube streaming. So, probably a whole other group of people are going to see this time versus ones that watch it on YouTube. And I haven't done this on Twitch yet with the PS4, at least not in a long time. So first thing I got to do is check to make sure that you can hear me. So let's find out. Can you hear me? It sounds like you can. Yeah. Can you hear me? Oh, that's good. Alright, so... Oh. What are we calling this one? Okay, backtrack. So we're on the NES line in New York. CSX Freight. Let's get a look at what we're carrying here. So we'll be at... Fresh Pond Junction today. You'll be operating a local transfer over to Oak Point Yard. Climbing boards sit in the engineer's seat of the indicated locomotive. So we're obviously not getting on the front locomotive here. Okay. So let's take a look at the map. So we're standing on the ground. There's a marker over here. Probably another interactive thing we can go to. You know what I haven't figured out yet is if you can simulcast your Twitch to YouTube. I gotta look into that. So, note for later. Look into simulcasting Twitch to YouTube. But I put on the Sony cans today. The old PS3 headset. I forget what man. I used to know what these things are called. I can't remember what they are anymore. But they're the huge cans. They came with a little USB dongle that plugged into the PS3 and gave you audio and microphone and all kinds of cool extra controls that work on the PS4 as well. And what's really nice about them is that USB dongle works on just about anything. Even at a computer in a call center. So... But we're going to be lining up here. Let's double check our lineup. So we're going to be getting on this locomotive that's looks like it's the east-west locomotive. And we're going to be transferring over to a north-south line over here. And we want to double check our switches and make sure we're lined up. So we got switch. I click. Why? Oh, I know why. Because I haven't gotten on the engine yet. Can't. Now, no running in the yard. It's not safe. And make sure you use the hand grips to get up. And make sure you grab onto handrails. And don't look into the light. That sucker's hot. When you walk in front of it. There's my conductor. Me. And let's see. Oh, let's turn on the light in here. Lights. So now we can see our back panel a little better. The engine's already set up because we just started the mission or the plan for today. So, but primarily it says what we need to do is put the reverser, set the reverser to the reverse, and sound the horn twice. My reading is going to be a little rough. The TV's about 12 feet away from me. Hence is why in the screen, I'm really far away from you. You see me waving down there. I'm very tiny. Itty bitty. But that's okay. You don't care what I look like. We're here to look at the trains. Roll them around. And I'm here to learn. So, alright, reverser in reverse. Got that. Let's turn on the bell since we're in the yard. I'll just annoy everybody for a minute. Let's look out the back. Let's make sure all the brakes are applied. All the brakes are off. We're going to leave us in independent since we're light engine. And we're on flat ground right now. Let's give it a little movement here. We're going to only go up to 5 miles an hour in this part of the yard. Let some wind in. the bell. Now we're gonna hit a pretty gnarly incline here in a minute. Going up this hill. I want to get the camera right on top of the engine, as close to where the conductor would sit. Yeah, like right about here. Notice we've already stopped and we're starting to roll backwards. So we need to keep on the power, alternating between power and off of power. This is kind of a dance you got to do here to get this thing up this hill and keep from going over speed. We're able to move up to 10 miles an hour in a moment here once we get to that 10 mile an hour marker at the end of these switch points. It looks like it's about that switch. I'm guessing it's just because the track that we're on right now, this has a 5 mile an hour speed restriction on the curve. Whoa, whoa, a little too fast. Got the notch too. The only issue with the controller and accelerating is that you can pull the trigger and it'll just go ham on you and you'll start accelerating a whole lot. Because it'll add more throttle than you need. You'll get a couple notches there. And now we're on the grade going up this hill here. In a moment here, the rear engine, there it went, passes the, from the lead unit past the switch points, and we get to go up to 10 miles an hour now. That's what I gotta get. I get a multi-streamer so I can stream to a system that will split my stream between the two services, YouTube and Twitch at the same time. I know there's plugins for that, and there's certain services that charge you money for that. I know you could also recast your stream through a computer with OBS or something like that, recast a window or a frame, and just rebroadcast it out from OBS. At least then it's free. It's just going to lose the generation and quality. But if you have a good computer and a good internet system set up, then it should be okay. I'm running gigabit internet, got AT&T fiber, 1000 megabits up and down. It's a pretty good service most of the time, and the Wi-Fi that comes built into the router is pretty robust. It's got auto sensing, and you leave both the 2.4 and the 5 gigahertz named the same because it'll detect which one should be used for the device that's connected to it. Alright, here once this rear unit passes, or lead unit passes the switch points here, we'll be able to go 15 miles an hour. About 5 seconds here. Alright, and we're up to being able to go 15, and we're almost done with the grade here. Once we get over this overpass, we'll be just about done with the grade and be on level ground. We've done all of our climbing. Let's get a little air. Got too much speed. There we go. Use a little tap on the independent a little bit, keep us from bumping up too much. There is a 20 mile an hour speed. Oh, now we need we're going downhill. I started this earlier, but I didn't finish it because I figured I might as well do a stream on it, so I didn't know we're going to be going downhill so soon. But it's light engine, so we don't need to use dynamic. We can use the independent brake, from my understanding, my very weak understanding as of yet. We're going to slow down since we're getting close to our mark. Bail off and Oh, we're gonna get the lead unit up there to this mark. So you might as well lay off the. We got 26 yards to go. It's 110 feet of engines, or 95, 95, 180, 190 feet of engines. Of course, these aren't, you know, wide bodies, so they're not quite as long. Maybe about 90 feet, 85. I think it is. Well, it likes that stop. Okay, so it wants us to set the track switches. First, let's look out the right window here. Our conductor's still over there. No, normally a conductor would get up and go move all the switches, but yeah, it's gonna be us. We're gonna do it, so that's okay. So let's check that warning again. It says stop at location at the top of the bridge, at the top of Bay Bridge Yard. Something else I'm going to do here while we're stopped at the menu is cut a little bit of the game audio out, because it's kind of loud and I don't want it drowning me out completely. Apply. Okay. So, set track switches. You will need to manage the yard switches yourself, so remember to check them regularly. Yep, I checked them before we came over here, and then we're going to stop at the location top of Bay Bridge Yard. So, let's get back to the map. Where are we going? So, we're going back up the road, and we're not going through the 5-mile-an-hour curve that we went through earlier up here. We're going over here. So, let's start from where we're going and work our way down. We probably need to come across. Nope, we can't go across, because there's a train there. So this track, so we've got to go there. And we've got to take this cross, you know, take this lead here. Alright. And that'll get us to that point. Okay. So, let's go look at everything. Reverser's got to go to forward. The independent is full on. Auto's off. Dynamics off. Throttle's in idle. We got everything's in the up position. Proper lights. We're going to move again. So give him a little tap, and start letting off there, and give it a little throttle. Up to 20 for a little bit, and then we can go 25 apparently coming up. Gotta get through these turnouts. Yeah, we can take a look outside. See where we're going. Tap on the throttle a little bit here. We're going to be going downhill here soon, so we're not going to need too much. We're pretty high speed for a yard. And then able to go 20. And that's the thing. Even though you may be able to go 20 in a yard, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's the speed that you can go. Just because it's the max doesn't mean it's allowed. Let's tap on the brakes a little bit. We're almost there. Twitch is showing a very healthy stream. Sitting at 5,000. Oh yeah. For the bit rate. A little tap on the brakes. And bring us right down. Okay. Set track switches coupled to formation, 10 vehicles. Alright. So we've got to go couple of these cars. We got to get through this crossover here. Got to make sure your crossovers are in correspondence, as long as they are actually crossovers. And if you are not using, and I mean by definition the word using this track, you have to make sure they're in correspondence. Now, using is kind of a loose word. Just because you're not standing on a ladder doesn't mean you're not using it. You know, but who knows? That's up for debate. But it's a debatable issue depending on where you work. The definition of the word using. So, all right, I think we're lined up, and we got to make a reversing move now. So let's go take a look at the rear. And looks like we're looking at it. So we're gonna move the reverse into reverse. Lights come on. Little bell action since we're moving in the yard. And we don't need to go, oh, brakes off. There we go. That's more than fast enough. Tap on the brakes a little bit. There we go. About 5 cars away. 4. Looks like 3 more. 2 more. One more. No, not that. Alright, so now we're looking at the rear of the formation. I missed the mark. Let's see. Couple to formation, 10 vehicles. Alright, set track switches, couple to formation, 10 vehicles. So I guess we're coupling to more stuff. Where? Alright, so we got to come out of this track and go into that one. Oh boy, where do we got to go to do that? Okay, so we got to set these switches to get us out of here. We're going to go straight and that way. Yep. You hear all this traffic out here? I don't even see any cars. Okay, hold on. Now I've got to listen to this because this is nuts. I've never really noticed all this extra noise back here. it's always so loud up there at the other end by the engines. So this is our consist. Looks like we got some tank cars, some auto racks. Oh no, what are those? Auto racks? No, covered hoppers. I don't know why they look like auto racks to me from above, but I never see this stuff from above. The bell can go. Okay, so we don't need the... We gotta pull up first. Get us rolling. We still got to check the rest of these switches out. First, we know we're going to need this one. Or wait, not that one. Yeah, to get into this track right here. We know we need this one to come out of this track. And then it looks like we've got a good stretch for a while before we got to worry about it. But this one might need necessary, so we're going to align it for our move just in case. This is kind of a neat one because this is the first time I've done a move where I have to pull a train up and couple to another track. So, let's see how this goes. You can see that switch there is lined properly for us on that track. So when we come back that way, that one's already set up. So now it's time to watch the rear, and we're far enough so we can come to a stop here. Oh, we passed the switch. That's what we gotta look at. Sound is the air brakes coming off as they're being recharged since I took off the auto brake. So let's see, by map, are we far enough? So we still got to pull one car by. We stopped a little early, and that's because I hadn't set up the camera back here yet to watch, but we're still sitting on the switch. We need to get to this switch right here. So we've got one car that needs to get pulled by, and let's double check this switch. This switch is lined up to go into the track. These camera controls are a little screwy. Oh, we need to be in. Let's reset this camera here and put us in free flight. Free camera. There we go. And we're coupling to this stuff right here. Let's take a look. All right. So, reverses and forward, knock off the independent, throttle up, notch up, and let's pull this sucker by a few more feet. And we'll just give the little tap on the independent here. Alright, now we have to throw that switch. Switch is thrown. We're lined into that track. Oh, are we lined into the right track? I say that. It feels like we're in the right track. Yeah, okay. The way this map is set up makes it a little deceptive with all these lines, and that's just in a yard. There's a lot of lines. Gotta pay attention. Alright, so throttle in reverse. Let's move the camera back here a little bit closer to the coupling. You can hear the EOT whirring back here. That's our end of train device. And you look at that thing at night, it'll blind you. That sucker's bright. Knock off the auto brake. Wait for the air pressure to come back up. Our flow to go down. That's the thing that's hard to see from back here. Which one of these meters is... So we got the brake pipe pressure and the EQ. Alright. We don't have a flow meter. We got to look at the engine for that. So let's do that. Engineer's seat. We don't have an airflow meter. It would normally be right there. So sorry, I had to change the turn down the audio. I'm hoping that the mixture's right, that you can hear me over the hear me over the engine noise. I'm not really listening to what's coming through the computers on Twitch. So, alright, so we're going to couple up this equipment back there. Everything looks good up here. All the pressure's back. So we're going to go back to our rear camera and start our move. We've got the reverse from reverse. We've knocked off the auto brake. We'll knock off the independent and move it. Get some slack action here. And we'll keep it at about under 5. It is much quieter back here on the back of the train, and that is how it is actually. But you do want to keep your earplugs in because the flange on the wheels will squeal against these against the rail as you're changing tracks and stuff, or going through curves as it's being pushed to stay in line with the track, especially through turnouts and switches and stuff. You get a lot of squealing sometimes from some wheels. Yes, can honk at you too. Alright, so the grade is flat, but the equipment is slowing us down a bit. That's good. Keeping us under 3. Its coupling speed is 3 miles an hour. That's slack action there. That's the train pulling on us as we got about 2 car lengths. And we'll bring it to a stop. Oh, just a little too early. Look at that. Slack's rolling in and out. That's those tank cars. They must be loads. Alright, we can test these, put some auto brake down. Well, full service isn't exactly auto brake, but objective's complete. So let's see, what are we doing next? At least we got everything secured. Alright, so let's redo our rear camera. We got front camera, rear camera is now back here. In case we gotta go backwards for some reason. And let's go back to the front and see what's next. So go to Fremont Branch So we're going up the road a mile or so. A mile or two. Or 3. Or 4. Alright, so we lined this switch earlier just in case the train was too long. While the train wasn't too long, we definitely needed the switch. Something I noticed when I started playing this game that's kind of interesting is the trailing point moves, meaning you're going through a switch, you know, in the direction we're going now to that switch that we looked at up there. This is, you know, we're going through the switch from the back of it, so it's a trailing point move. The points will be facing the back of us. If we were coming at the switch going south, it'd be a facing point move. And in that case, you have to have it lined right because it chooses which direction you go here. But if you're coming out of here, the game does not seem to care if this is lined against you. You would run through this switch, or it would have to be a spring switch, but in the game it doesn't seem to care. If you're coming at it, it'll send you down whichever track this is, but if you're coming at it from this direction, down here, it doesn't seem to matter, but we're going to keep it lined up properly. We're going to put the reverser back into forward, and knock off the auto brake, let the brakes recharge. There we got the pressure coming back up. Take a look at our EOT. We got 84 pounds on the rear, so that's coming back up. Our main bike pipe is should be about back up. That's the thing about this too. These little details in here. It'd be nice if you could read them, but you can't. Auto brakes off. Let's knock off the independent and put it in the throttle. Let's grab a notch. And the EOT should be saying that it's moving. And we've got 3 miles. To 15. And we're on a slight incline, and the equipment's probably pretty heavy. It seems like we're carrying loads back there or something. I don't know, because they were sloshing around on us before. But we'll have to keep doing some throttle modulation here to get up this hill and also keep it from going over speed. So this is a fair grade. At notch 1, we're holding it about 14, 15. And that's giving us about, let's see what the amperage is there, about 300, almost 400, 386 amps. And we get a speed limit increase here. Now we're already up to the ability to go 20 right now. And once the rear of the train passes that 25 mark, we'll be able to go 25. We're only going a couple miles. There's no reason to get too excited. We'll just mosey on up there to the point where we got to reach. It says go to the location. It doesn't say whether we got to stop or not, but we're going to be approaching it prepared to stop. We're under medium speed, well under medium speed. We're actually under the real restricted speed, which is 20. But the computerized restricted speed nowadays is 15 miles an hour, which is not accurate to the rule book. Let's go a second notch here and get us back up to 20 again. Come back down. Grade seems okay right now. Let's go take a look at the rear. And we're passing over. There we go. We just passed over the 25 mark. Back there. .4 miles left. Set it up for dynamic for when we need it. It says we're going down a grade now, so we gotta wait our 10 seconds. And get ready to start going into dynamic. We're getting close. Get us in setup. Just in case. We got an increase in the speed now. We went over the 25 mark. But we're going down a grade, so this could start picking up on us. Want to hold where we're at. We're doing okay. Turn off the light, get a little better look out the outside. Let's go look at the front. We don't seem to need the dynamic just yet. Alright, we'll tap a little bit more on the gas. We're able to go up to 25. And we're doing 15. Like I said, no reason to get too excited, but we are on level ground now, so we can adjust accordingly if necessary. If we were a little bit more knowledgeable about the terrain, we could understand what's coming up ahead. And in the terms of terrain, if you're going under an overpass, it typically means you're at the top of the hill. If you go over a river, you're definitely at the bottom. And that should just be common knowledge, I think, when it comes to topography. At least the river part. The overpass thing is something I hadn't considered. I didn't really think about before, but it makes sense that if you go under a bridge, at least in terms of rail, you're probably at the top of the hill. Now here we're still running on flat ground according to the grade indicator, so yeah, what are you going to do? It is a fairly heavy consist. I will give it that. Let's get a look at the free camera. And back in we go. That was a pretty good view. Head out. Right, there we go. Ah, daggone it. I did not mean to stand up. Got 1 mile left and we're going to have to bring it to a stop. We're holding it steady at 20 something miles, 21 with notch 1. Right now, that's doing the trick. Now our grade indicator is saying we're going uphill. It looks to me like we're going down. And I think that I can't tell if it is accurate because it said we were going down before, but we kept losing speed. Now this all could just be the way of the train, or we might have wheels that are not as well greased or something, or I'm not really sure. But to pull up this thing, we're needing a little bit here apparently. Just to hold it steady, which is nice. It requires, means you don't have to do too much to stop it, except to just let off the throttle and let it slow down, which we're going to flatten out here, it looks like. Yep. Got a couple bends in the track left, and then we'll be at our destination right here. Again, it says go to location, but we're not really given a precise idea of what's going to happen after we get there. As we're out of throttle right now, we're slowing down naturally, just coasting. We don't need any brakes yet. We might just be able to do this with throttle modulation and air. 600 yards left at 12 miles an hour. We could probably set up the end of the dynamic where we've been out of power for over 10 seconds. Yep. Oh. Well, we definitely don't need to draw on the power on the dynamic yet. Still got 400 yards to go. So I guess we can lay off that for a minute. Just the train is definitely slowing us down. We're gonna have to pull on it again. I must have tapped the lights. Yeah, I think I did accidentally tap the lights. No, there's no way I tapped them. Go into dynamic. It's a heavy consist. Yes, it is. And time for some service. We got our service. Apparently, we did not need to stop here, as is my thought. It was a marker, not a stopping point. This switch will not let me get close enough to it. It is set. So now I gotta go up here. Okay, looks like everything is set up, so knock off the independent. Knock off the, well, we gotta release the air still. See? That's off. That's off. Wait for the air to come back up. We're 84.6 on the rear. Let's double check that. So if we put the air down, it should come down on the rear. It's not. It's lying to us. That EOT is lying to us. So the EOT is unreliable in this version or setup of the simulator, because we're drawing the air down. That number should be going down on the rear to like 60 pounds at full service, and so we're gonna knock off the air here. Let the air build back up. And we can see main brake pipe. That's good. I wish we had a flow meter. Alright, and let's see. Knock off the independent, kick it in gear. Pull it on up the road. Unnecessary stop. But unnecessary stops can happen, and we should be ready for them. And it's not telling us whether the EOT is moving. 3.6 miles, and in about 2,000 feet, maybe 3,000 feet, we'll be able to go 40 miles an hour once we get past this, the whole train past this mark. Let's go look at the rear. That's looking pretty good there. We're going over an overpass, so we might be getting set up to go back downhill if we're passing over stuff now. And there we've got unlocked to go 40 miles an hour past that speed restriction. So our speedometer has some numbers flashing below it up there, if we look at it right around here. These little numbers flash. That's the accelerometer telling us what speed we'll be at within 1 minute or so, or what our speed change is going to be. With us in notch 3, we're going to lose 20 miles an hour in the next minute. Now it's minus 17, minus 20. Minus 5 or 15 or whatever, so it's just around a lot. It's an estimator, but obviously at notch 3 it's not enough to carry this load up the grade. 4's enough to hold it steady. 5 will get us a little bit of increase of speed. Apparently we're going over there. It's pretty far away. We got a nice curve coming up in that case, and we're going over the bridge. We're getting pretty high up here, so as on the other side, it's probably going to be a heck of a ride down. So when we crest the top here, we've got to count our 10 seconds to get ready to go into dynamic. Let's open up the windows and get some fresh air in here. We're up in New York. It could be cold out. You know, could be nice. Holding good at 37. We're going to need dynamic braking here soon. Once we get over this thing, that's very pretty. That's real nice. Let's get a look at it from the outside. And time to come out of throttle. We're going down now. 6 more seconds. We'll be able to set up that dynamic. It's going to be a roller coaster ride going down, I bet. Already a 1% grade, it looks like, going down. The weight of the train coming over the tail of this thing behind us is holding us steady, but as soon as most of the train is on this grade, she's going to start pushing. Dynamic force holding it pretty good. We're not loading a whole lot of amps. Or any, I think. On this meter right here, I don't see the needle have moved at all, really. It seems very shallow. Heck, I keep getting my thumbs messed up. Which is which? Holding real good here so far on this grade. So that's good. No commentos. No. Oh, there went the commuter. You can take a look at him from our rear. He should be passing anytime now. Yep, well, that's the interstate. Should be train that big. That could be commuter. I don't know how New York works. That looks like about the size of the metro from Chicago to me. So. Well, we're still in dynamic 4, holding at 38 miles an hour. We're going to have to slow down a lot. Now that I'm back up front, I see that we're closing in on our objective, and we're way over speed for it. Tap the air, and tap some more, and let's bring it out full service. Okay. Not a bad stop. We're a little bit over the distance we were supposed to go. Like I said, I was spending too much time trying to go back there and look at that commuter train. Let's knock the air off, let it charge back up. We got the independent set. And it says that we're going to go to stop at Oak Point, track 3. So track 3. This one I'm following is 1. Two. Okay. 1 branches the 2. So that's 2. This is the switch for 3. I need that one. That looks like it's going the right way. That needs to go. That's good. That's good. So, let's drop in. I'm going only 0.7 miles into a yard track, so okay, I don't need to get too crazy. And right at the marker, or just beyond it, looks like there's a 10 mile/h speed restriction, but that won't affect us on this move. It might on the next one, depending on what we're doing. We don't have a full grasp of our missions yet. It's interesting. Just as long as that means that's out of town. Let's take a look. Okay, 800 meters to go. So we'll pop this back over to dynamic. No, they're the only ones there. Jeez. Gonna give us a little more throttle. Should be able to do this probably going with this grade here. It says we're going downhill now, but if we need some dynamic we're set up for it, we just need to make sure we have use the appropriate amount of throttle to stop and throttle in time. And so 27th, they're in a train at 7:45. Trying to check my work schedule and see if anybody's talking about moving something. Doesn't look like they're going anywhere. Probably till in the morning or tonight. So they ran their 337 already. They did had somebody out of there earlier today. That wasn't on my area. Now, how are they doing on conductors? They got one. They're not going to be calling me. We got a crap ton. Let's see. Another one available at 139, another one available at 346, another one at 440, 430. So yeah, that's plenty of people. Yeah, we'll be able to set this one down right on on power alone if we do it right. We won't need to use any dynamic. We can just let it roll to a stop. We can watch it from the front here and look at where we're going. Now we're on flat ground, of course. I don't know if that means the whole train is, but we are. Time to see if she'll just sit down on her own. Might need to squeeze a little bit. Apparently it wants us to make the extra 5 yards, so let's wait for the brakes to come off, and we'll use independent. That's a big consist. It's going to take a minute for all that air to come off. We stopped a little early. We're at 90, 60. Yeah, I know you're uncomfortable over there. Poor conductor. Let's go see. Do you need us? Do you need some attention? Is that the problem? Are you all by yourself? You won't even look at me. You're so upset. Look at that. Have you been rubbing dirt all over your face? You know, food's supposed to go in your face, not on your face, but in your mouth, okay? Or whatever it is that you've done to yourself. You look rough, okay? You been in a bar fight? Something? Because you look like you need a washcloth. You know, we got crew packs. You can use a crew pack and wash your face, okay? This is unnecessary. Alright, let's try this again. Auto brakes off, dynamics off. Let's grab a notch and just peel the throttle off. Okay, it says climb down to complete duty, so we've got everything is in braking mode over here. We can turn off the lights. And it says climb down, complete the duty. Okay. Now I realize this is a very long stream, you know. But railroading takes a long time. It really does. Why am I supposed to go way over there? Am I supposed to walk all the way over there? That's like a long ways, man. How far is 250 yards? I don't know. 250 yards, that's how far it is. Why did I have to get down here? Let's give me 10 feet. Let's see, what's over here? what's over there that I should be going to, really? Because I don't know. This is the thing about this game a little bit. It's a little bit hard to tell what you should do next. Because this is probably just one of those other markers. That, or I'm really supposed to go over there. So we're going to run. No running in the yard, no running. Just so you know, I should not run in the yard. We got only 200 yards to go. It's not that far. Walking, it's kind of far. But running, it's not far. And hopefully, and we get a little bit of a look at the train here as we sidestep around things and cross tracks inappropriately. Oh, we're going to a pickup truck. It didn't tell me to go to a pickup truck. It just said disembark. Nobody told me to get on the truck. I better get a crap ton of XP for all the time I just put into that one. That's it? That's all you're gonna give me? Wow, they're getting stingy. Really? Where's next? Choose from available options. I want to go to the main menu. That's where I want to go. I'm kind of tired now. It's 1 o'clock. I did not mean to disconnect the companion app. I didn't do that. Okay? Turn back on. Stay. Connect. Apparently the connection timed out. Not that I need the companion app. I'm not typing anybody apparently. Although it gives you a nice feature where you can pull up the comments from your streams on your phone in the companion app for PlayStation and then type back on your phone. But I have it up here on the computer anyways too. You know. So I'm going to insert the description marker here and the stream marker or whatever that thing is. Let me grab one. I need one. I don't have one. Just so that it's here. Copy, and you can go back now. I don't need anything. Leave. Yeah, okay. And we're gonna paste this description marker. Stream marker. What is a stream marker? You and your editors can add markers while you're live and use them later oh, well then I don't need this thing. That's not what I want. And for cutting. So markers, okay. I don't need to add a marker. I'm good right now. I'm sure in the future, if I become a better streamer, I would use markers and know where I'm putting things. Yeah. Then, you know, let's see. Auto host, get 10% growth. It's easy. Here's how. I don't have anybody I care to auto host right now. I'm not looking to make a living out of this. But God knows what happens in the future. So, mostly you're just looking at a screen with a menu and listening to me blabber. If you've made it this far, which is an hour something long stream, now that I look at it. We've been here for a long time. It's ridiculous. Why do I have a stream summary if I haven't completed a stream? What is thy bidding? Reach 2 followers. Yes, that's cool. I'm happy for that. Achievement unlocked. 35-minute duration. If it's still on, why are you saying I have a summary? Did I hit a button? Did I end the stream? Does it think I'm not on anymore? And I'm pretty sure I am. So, I guess we'll cut it off there. That was a pretty long one. But, appreciate you coming by to watch. Welcome to the house. And, stay safe.